Hello and welcome back to another FPL video, and yes, this is a wildcard video. I have in fact activated my wildcard for game week 26. Did I want to do it? Well, last week I said to myself a couple more game weeks and then I'll think about it, but I decided to go for a gamble in 25, do 3 Liverpool players in my team and hope that Leeds beat Fulham in the FA Cup. That didn't happen and now they're all blanking in 28. I got one double game week playing for 27 and only a few really for 29, when realistically I want as many as I can get. So I'd either take massive hits or watch my rank just go down every week, or I go for this wild card. So I've decided to go for the wild card because I feel like it's really the best option really. But before I go into all that, let's look at how I got on 25, shall we? Now, as you can see, I got 82 points in the end, which I thought was pretty impressive. Obviously, I had a -8, so I did get 90 really. So 82 points I thought was pretty decent, but I did get a red arrow. Not a massive one, but still got a red arrow. I think the Saka player is the one that done me there. I don't have Saka, and obviously a lot of people have Saka and Martinelli, and obviously I think that's done me, especially if I've got all three of those midfielders. That would have really KO'd me, to be honest. Anyway, so let's look at the goalkeepers then. So 2 for Danny Ward on the bench, 1 for Kepa. Both goalkeepers had tough games, to be fair. Spurs and Arsenal. I weren't expecting too much, so there's not really much more I can say really there. Not really much of a surprise. Defenders wise, I mean, Ake, let's go for the positive first, shall we? So, yeah, I was absolutely buzzing when I found out he was going to be starting against Bournemouth, because obviously I've taken a -8 and I wasn't sure if Ake was even going to play. So, to find out he was playing, I was buzzing. He then came off when they were still on for a clean sheet. So that was locked in, and then literally a couple minutes later, Bournemouth go ahead and score a goal. So anybody else who had like a Kanji or Edison in goal, they lost their clean sheet bonus. So I was really happy with that. So got one on those people there, happy with that. Then Robertson, who I brought in, because he had that double game week. I thought, you know what, he's cheaper than Trent. He's going to keep the team because obviously he's so far behind. You can't really rotate it right now. Obviously, the game against Crystal Palace, it was a boring draw. Liverpool did play poor, but they kept the clean sheet. So I was buzzing there. Yes, he got a yellow card. It was a bit frustrating, but I thought on for Wolves then at Anfield. And then I found out he's been dropped for the game. I was absolutely vexed when I found out he weren't going to be playing. He was on the bench and he didn't even come on. He didn't even come on at all. So really frustrating there. Would have been nice to at least have one appearance point for him. So clearly I should have gone for Trent or Van Dijk that week. So that one didn't work out at all. Yeah, 5 points is 5 points, but I wanted 15 points if I'm being honest. So bit annoyed with that. He's really burned me this season if I'm being honest. And then the other 2 defenders, Thomas first. I mean, I wasn't expecting Thomas to play if I'm being honest, but I didn't fancy taking a -12 hit, to be honest. When it comes to defenders, as soon as a goal goes in, obviously that -4 doesn't really work out for you, does it? You go from having 6 points to 2 immediately. So decided to leave Thomas in there, and then Tarkowski. I mean, look at that, 0 points. He had a double game week. He had Villa and he had Arsenal. Thank God I brought him in the week before and got those 8 points against Leeds, because that was absolutely shocking. Obviously, the 2-0 against Villa was a surprise, and I did think they were going to win that game 1-0. So, for them to lose 2-0, I wasn't really optimistic against Arsenal, but then to lose 4-0, and he got a yellow card, that didn't help either. Really disappointing there, but thankfully, I brought him in the week before. There were people out there, obviously, who brought him in for this game week alone, so it is what it is. Disappointing, but it is Everton, so you can't really expect too much. Midfield, let's go for Gakpo first then. So, again, I watched him against Crystal Palace just because I had him, and he was absolutely rubbish. He was terrible. I was watching him play against Crystal Palace, and I was thinking, oh my god, this player is terrible. Can't believe Man United went in for him as well. He was shocking. Maybe he'll get good as the season goes on, but he was awful in that game. And even when I was watching that game, I said to myself, I think Jota will start the next game because he's playing poor. And turns out I was right, Jota did play. So, again, another disappointing player to have in my team. Don't think he'll be my team for much longer. Yeah, he was poor. I mean, obviously Liverpool are always poor at the minute, but it would have been nice if he started the second game as well. So 4 points in 2 games is just terrible, especially with Liverpool's double game week, it was Crystal Palace and Wolves. I was expecting high hopes really for these players, and two of them didn't really work out. Next up though, Martinelli. Look at that. Absolutely killed it. 26 points. I was buzzing about that one at least, because I know a lot of people have taken Martinelli out of their team because of Trossard, and they've been switching. So for Arteta to absolutely KO all those people that took Martinelli out, brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Now, obviously I've got Nketiah, so it did kind of burn me as well, but it's fair play to Martinelli. He absolutely smashed it. 26 points, several goals and assists. Buzzing. He was really happy with him, to be fair. He's somebody I definitely needed, because obviously I don't have Saka, and there might be people out there who have Saka and Odegaard, where I've got Martinelli and Odegaard. So yeah, 26. Obviously, it would have been better if he was captain, but honestly, I didn't think he was going to start in both of these games. Anyway, definitely wasn't sure he was going to start. Obviously, Trossard's been playing well, so, and Martinelli's been a bit average recently. So yeah, I was really surprised with that, but overall really happy with that. So yeah, brilliant from Martinelli there. I think he really saved me, if I'm being honest. He was one of the players that saved me anyway, one of two I'd say. And then Mo Salah. I mean, I've never been so disappointed before when somebody in my team scores a goal. I was kind of hoping Salah was going to blank, because I know a lot of people personally who had Salah as captain, and I was thinking, obviously at the time Odegaard scored, so I was thinking I got one over them. Unfortunately, that didn't happen. He did get the goal, so I guess I get the points, yeah, but he weren't really my captain, and I was kind of hoping he was going to blank. So unfortunately, he was that player who I brought in hoping he would blank. Obviously, I took him in my team because he had a double game week, and Salah's usually, well, in the past he's been good, and before that I had Kevin De Bruyne, and to be fair, De Bruyne didn't even play, so instead of having 0 points, I had 11, so that transfer did probably work out in all fairness, but I did still want him to blank just because he weren't my captain. And then finally, Martin Odegaard. I went for Odegaard as captain. I know a lot of people are going for Salah or Saka. No, I don't have Saka in my team, so obviously you think I'll go for Salah, but I wanted to be differential, I wanted to be different, and I thought I could do it. I did think I was going to do it. I was really disappointed with that first game against Leicester. I thought Odegaard, was going to get a goal or something. Didn't really do a lot in that game. Bit frustrating. But then when you look in the next game against Everton, you're thinking, God, a couple goals up and he's still not done anything. This is not working out at all. The Saka and Salah guys, well, at the time it was just Saka, really won this one. Thankfully, though, Odegaard did get that goal. Would have been nice for a bonus point as well, but obviously he didn't get one. And yeah, 22 points. So he got basically the same points as Salah. If whoever captained him, I got the same points as them. So yeah, I'd take that. Thankfully, he got that goal, so I got 22 points out of him. So happy with that. Then the strikers. Haaland got 10 points. Yeah, he did alright. He did what Haaland does, really. Score a goal. I mean, it was against Bournemouth as well, to be fair. So I was slightly wondering, would he get a couple of goals? Would he get an hat-trick? But, he got a goal and he got an assist. So I didn't have him as captain. I don't think many people did. Well, a lot of people did. I think they're all going for Saka and Salah. So, yeah, 10 points for Haaland. Another goal for him. Not much I say about him, really. And then finally, Eddie Nketiah. I mean, that was disappointing, wasn't it? Especially people who brought him in or took a hit for him because he had a double game week. So he got a double game week and he got 5 points. He did get an assist, but to be dropped from both games is concerning if you own him. So yeah, 5 points for 2 games. Considering their double game week was Leicester and Everton, you're expecting a lot of things really. And yeah, Arteta dropped him, so disappointed really with Nketiah. Not really his fault, he got dropped, so it is what it is, but it definitely makes me think now for game week 26. So yeah, overall 82 points, red arrow, but I'll take it, to be fair. So then, let's go through my wildcard team then for game week 26. Now, obviously this isn't going to be 100% locked in. There is still a chance that I'll make a couple of changes before the deadline, because I'm not 100% on everybody, but there's a big chunk of this team I do like. Now, first let's go through these goalkeepers then. So, I've kept Kepa in goal for now. Now, Chelsea, I just think they're going to come good eventually. I know they've been poor recently. They're not scoring goals. They're not winning games. But I do think they will come good. Now, they've only got one double, and that is in the game week 29. But they do have the game week 28 fixture, which is a bonus. So that's why he's in there. But obviously, you look at Raya. who's my second goalkeeper here, and he's also got the game week 28 fixture, and obviously he's got the 2 double game weeks as well. So out of the 2 goalkeepers currently, Raya is definitely my preferred goalkeeper for now. Whether that will change or not, I don't know. Same with Kepa, because obviously there's Danny Ward to think about. He's only 4 million. I could have him, or I could go for Fraser Forster of Spurs. Spurs don't have any double game weeks, but their next 4 fixtures are pretty decent, to be fair. You could push it back to maybe even 6 fixtures. So those 2 are goalkeepers that are definitely ones to look at. Obviously the Newcastle goalkeepers always ones to look at, but I do feel like at over 5 million, maybe I'll probably leave that one. And Jordan Pickford, I don't think I have any confidence in him after that double game week he went through. So I feel like these 2, maybe Danny Ward and Fraser Forster, are the 4 goalkeepers to really look at. Oh, and Sanchez of Brighton, of course. They've got a couple of game weeks, double game weeks, as well as, and they've got another one yet to be confirmed. So yeah, I could go for Sanchez as well. So there is options out there, but for now I've gone for Kepa and Raya. Right then, so onto my defenders now. If you can remember, my defence was dying, really. It was terrible. Players not playing, not getting points. It wasn't looking great. So I've had to do a big shake-up. I have kept Kieran Trippier. He's the one survivor of that defence. He's been in there since game week 1. And he's been sensational, really. Obviously, the last few weeks, he's not really performed. The whole of Newcastle haven't really performed. Maybe they've had the eye in that cup final. I don't know. Hopefully, they'll come good now. But obviously, Man City away next game is not ideal. And he probably will be on my bench for that game week. But after that, they've got some decent fixtures. They play in game week 28, which is a bonus. And they have that double in 29. And one of them is against Man United. So maybe they want to get some revenge on them there. So Kieran Trippier stayed in my team. Alongside him, there's Veltman in defence. Now, he's somebody I'm not 100% certain on, if I'm being honest. Yes, they've got a double game week in 27 and 29, Brighton, and they still have another double game week yet to be announced, which is good. Whether I want a Brighton defender or go for more attacking Brighton players, I've yet to decide, or even go for the goalkeeper. But Veltman, he is somebody that always plays for Brighton, so he is a good option. Or I could easily go for a dunk either way. So, yeah, for now I've got Veltman in there. Got West Ham next game at home, which isn't too bad of a fixture either for them. So yeah, Veltman's in there. Rico Henry, 4.5 million, quite a cheap defender to be fair. Plays 90 minutes all the time for Brentford. Brentford have a double game week in 27. They have a game week in 28 and a double in 29. So I had to get a Brentford defender in, really, and their fixtures are pretty decent in that time as well. In those 4 game weeks anyway. So what was it? Fulham away, oh no, Fulham at home, sorry, that's decent. Everton and Southampton away, 2 decent. Leicester at home, and then they've got Brighton and they've got Man United away. So a lot of fixtures in the next few weeks, and I felt like, particularly the first 4 fixtures, they could do really well, Brentford. So obviously there is other defenders that you could also go for if you wanted to, Pinnock or me, somebody like that. But I've gone for Rico Henry. I like the look of him. I mean, will he do well? I don't know. I mean, confidence-wise, not 100%, but I do want a Brentford defender. And then for the big guns, well, your premiums are now gone. Instead of 7+ millions, are now between 5 and 6 million. But yeah, first one I got here is Zinchenko. He's back fit. Hopefully he starts all the time as well. But he's done really well for Arsenal recently. Arsenal, they've got some nice fixtures coming up as well. What was it? They've got Bournemouth, Fulham, Palace, Leeds. They're great fixtures coming up, and I think they could easily get clean sheets in the next 4 game weeks. So I did feel like I had to get an Arsenal defender in. Now, is he going to play every game week? I'm not 100% certain, if I'm being honest, because he does have this thing where he just suddenly goes, oh, I've got a niggle, I can't play. So maybe I could go for maybe Gabriel, who's just 0.1 more or 0.2. Not a lot of difference in there. I do have money in the bank, so I could change that one there. But yeah, I wanted Zinchenko because he's an attacking wing back, so there is a good chance you can get a goal or assist with him. So that's why I've gone for Zinchenko. And then finally I've gone for Reece James. He's been Mr. Frustrating this season, hasn't he? Always injured. Really frustrating. But he played 90 minutes against Chelsea. Hopefully he'll play 90 minutes again against Leeds. Am I confident about that? No. But I'm in it with a long call now for Reece James. Because if they do get knocked out, say in the Champions League, It's really just the Premier League left, and maybe if Potter, let's say, gets sacked, Chelsea could go on a good run as well. So there is that option as well, and obviously they do have the fixture in 28 as well. So, and Reece James is just a brilliant, brilliant defender, especially attacking wise. Anyway, he's the best in the business. So I feel like not a lot of people are talking about him as well. So added bonus there. So hopefully he comes back and does an absolute stormer against Leeds. That'd be great. Another 18 points haul like last year would be great. So Reece James is in there for now. Right, so on to the midfielders then. So this is, I'm not going to lie, it's the hardest position really out of all the positions, midfield. So what I've done here, I've kept two midfielders from before. So Odegaard stayed in my team. I couldn't take him out. He's Arsenal's captain. Arsenal top of the league. They're smashing it. They've got 4 great fixtures coming up. I'll be mad to take him out. He starts every game, which is important, and he gets points. So I've kept Odegaard in. Rashford I've also kept in. He's in the form of his life. Man United in great form. They've just won a trophy. Will it continue? I don't know, but when it doesn't continue, I will look at taking him out then. But for now, I'll be mad to take him out. Yes, he's got a blank in 28, but I've got enough cover around to not worry about that. So that leaves me 3 midfielders left to choose from. First up, I've gone for Saka. So that means I've had to get rid of Martinelli. I've had him since game week 1. It's sad to see him go, but I can't look at the past anymore. I've got to look at the present and the future. And the future is telling me Trossard's in the Arsenal squad now. He's going to get rotated like he has been. Yes, in game week 25 he started both games, but we've also got to look at Gabriel Jesus. He's back in training for Arsenal, so that means when he's fit, he's going to start, and then Martinelli will go back on that wing, and he will be rotated with Trossard. So what I want is 90-minute men who are going to start pretty much every game now. I can't afford to gamble on Martinelli. Yes, he was brilliant last week, but will he start this next game week? I don't know. And that's the issue, unfortunately. It's sad to see him go, but I felt like the time's right now to let him go. You watch now, we'll go and score 3 goals at the weekend, just to wind me up. Harvey Barnes is next. Now, this is definitely a differential. Now, I wanted Maddison, if I'm being honest, but because he's flagged up, I've gone for Harvey Barnes. Now, Maddison is definitely the guy that ticks for Leicester, but Harvey Barnes is also a great player. You can't deny that. He scores goals. He always takes a shot when he has a chance, so I felt like it was the right thing to do. He's got Southampton away next game, bottom of the league they are, so you can imagine that Leicester might do decent there. Chelsea is the next game after that. Chelsea are a team that are all over the place, so maybe he could do some damage. Then he's got a game week in 28 against Brentford. Tough fixture that one, but you never know. And then obviously he got a double in 29, which a nice double as well. We've got Crystal Palace and they've got Villa. And even if you look further down, 30, they've got Bournemouth. So they've got a good fixtures coming up. That's why I was looking at Maddison. Couldn't quite afford him, for being honest. If I wanted Maddison, maybe I had to take out maybe Saka or somebody like that. And I don't really want to do that, if I'm being honest. Maybe I take out one of my strikers who I'll reveal later. But yeah, for now I've got Harvey Barnes. He always plays 90 minutes. Well, he's been playing 90 minutes for Leicester, so he's definitely somebody. He's definitely a differential anyway. I feel like you need differentials in your team. And then finally, McAllister. Now this is a tough decision to go for. This one is obviously definitely not confirmed either. You've got McAllister, you've got Matoma, you've got Groves. There's so many Brighton players in midfield March to decide to go for. So at the minute it's McAllister. That could easily change because obviously Brighton, they've got a double in 27 and a double in 29. Yes, they blank in 28, but they've got 2 doubles and another double yet to be confirmed. So I've got 2 Brighton players at the minute. I'm not 100% confident which ones I want to go for overall, but definitely in the midfield, I haven't got a clue who to go for out of them. There's just so many good options. They're all similar as well. That's the frustrating thing about Brighton. There's not... You say look at Man United midfield, you go Rashford and Fernandes, easy. You look at Arsenal, Odegaard, Saka, and yes, maybe Martinelli, but he doesn't always start. With Brighton, you could easily pick 4 or 5 players. It's a difficult one, but for now I've got McAllister. And finally then, the strikers. And as you can see, first up, Erling Haaland has stayed in my team. What a shock that is. You must be absolutely cream crackered if you think you're going to take him out your team. Yes, so what? They have a blank in 28. Erling Haaland just scores goals for fun. I mean, he's not been on the best run, but he still scores a goal here and there. So it's mad to think about taking him out. It's mad to think I've only got one Man City player in my team, but with Pep obviously constantly rotating his team, do I go Mahrez? Nah, he'll get dropped. Should I go Foden? Nah, he'll get dropped. Grealish dropped. Defenders all dropped. Even De Bruyne gets dropped. Erling Haaland's the only player that's not getting dropped. Obviously, you got Edison in goal as well, but defensively, he's not been great because he keeps dropping players. So Haaland's the only Man City player I've gone for. He scores goals for fun. I want my rank to go up, not down, so I've decided to keep him in. Then my other two strikers then. So Ivan Toney, obviously this one can't be confirmed. He's somebody I want in my team. It'd be great to find out suspension news soon. Please be the start of next season is what I'd say, or after game week 30. Because right now, Brentford have got great fixtures coming up. 2 double game weeks. He's got game week 28. Perfect to own Toney right now. Unfortunately, the suspension thing, we don't know when he's going to get suspended. It is going to come though, apparently. We just don't know when. Obviously, not everything's done with whatever is going on with him. So, it's frustrating because I want him in my team. Hopefully, it's not straight after the deadline where they say, yeah, he's going to be suspended. Because that would be frustrating. But for now, Ivan Toney is definitely in my team because those fixtures coming up are great. If he's not, I do have replacements lined up. But for now, he's definitely in my team. And then finally, I've gone for Harry Kane. I took him out of my team a few weeks ago now. I can't remember when it was. And I hate taking him out because he just scores goals all the time. It may not be 2-3 goals like maybe Haaland does. He just scores a goal, then another goal, in another game. Next week, goal. Week after that, goal. He's slowly but surely scores a goal. It feels like every game week. He's just so consistent, to be fair to him. So I kind of felt like I had no choice. And the fixtures: Wolves away, Forest at home, Southampton away, and that's in the game week 28 fixture, which obviously a lot of blanks are in. Then Everton away, Brighton at home, Bournemouth at home, right up to game week 32, where there could be double game weeks. They've got great fixtures, so I just felt like I had to have Harry Kane because he just scores goals. So yeah, overall that team, I'm pretty happy with that. Obviously, I could probably have a Spurs defender in there. The Brighton players could change. The Brentford players could change. I think the Arsenal players, I'm quite confident on. If I'm being honest, I feel like I want to stick with Reece James. Obviously, if I find out team news before the deadline, that might change. Trippier's obviously staying. Haaland's obviously staying. Rashford's obviously staying. Then the rest I'd say, is up for grabs. But yeah, so that's how my team looks then for game week 26 at this minute in time. And there we go. That is my team, or my wildcard team currently for game week 26. Now, obviously, there might be a few changes. Now, if there is players out there you think I'm missing out on who I've not looked at, let me know. And please don't forget to like and subscribe. And I'll see you all on the next one.